Good evening students. In today's class I will explain about ultrasonic waves and generation of ultrasonic waves. Generally the standard range of human hearing is in between 20 Hz to 20 kHz. So it is the audible range of humans. So we can hear the sounds in between this range only. The sound waves which are less than 20 Hz are called as a infrasonic sound waves. So it is very difficult for humans to listen these sound waves. Only few animals can listen, like a giraffe and elephant can listen this low range sounds, and the frequency which is greater than 20 kHz are called as ultrasonic sound waves, and we cannot hear these ultrasonic sound waves also. Only few animals can hear this. They are dogs, bats and dolphins. So this is about the ultrasonic waves. Now we will see the definition. Ultrasonics are used in acoustics to denote the frequencies which are beyond the range of human hearing and are usually above the frequencies of about 20 kHz. As I said now, ultrasonics are sound waves which are above the 20 kHz, and the wavelength of the ultrasonic wave in air is from 1.6 to 6 into 10 power minus 5. And the word ultrasonic is a Latin word which means ultra means beyond and sonic means sounds. So ultrasonic sound means which are beyond the audible range. Now we will see the generation of the ultrasonic waves. So here we are having a various methods to generate the ultrasonic waves. So by using thermal generators we can generate ultrasonic waves, and next we are having mechanical generators. So here we are having 4 types. So by using tuning forks we can generate the ultrasonic waves up to a range of 90 kHz, and next one is the Galton whistle. By using this method we can generate the ultrasonic waves up to a range of 100 kHz. So here that is 90 kHz. And next one is gas current generator. By using these methods we can generate the ultrasonic waves up to a range of 60 kHz. And the last one is Holtzmann generator. By using this method we can generate up to 33 kHz. And next one is magnetostriction generators and the piezoelectric generator. These are the 2 methods which are widely used, and I will explain about these 2 methods now. Magnetostriction generator. So in this magnetostriction generator we are using a magnetostriction effect. So first I will tell you about magnetostriction effect. Sorry. So magnetostriction effect means if I place a rod of a ferromagnetic material in a magnetic field which is parallel to its length, then the length may be changed. For example, it is a rod which is made up of a ferromagnetic material, and I am placing this in a magnetic field parallel to its length. Then the length may be changed. It may be increased or it may be decreased. So this phenomenon is known as a magnetostriction effect, or we can call it as a Joule effect. So the change of length can be depend on various parameters like temperature or the nature of the materials and the magnetization. So depending upon these parameters the length of the rod may be increased or decreased. So it is the magnetostriction effect. So we are using this magnetostriction effect in magnetostriction generator. So now we will see the circuit diagram of a magnetostriction oscillator. So it is the one. So here we are having a transistor, a battery, a switch, an ammeter, capacitor, inductor. We are having 2 inductors and a ferromagnetic rod which is made up of a iron, cobalt or nickel. It may be iron, cobalt or nickel. So first I will tell you a quick review of a oscillator. So already we know that a oscillator will consist of a tank circuit, and a transistor amplifier, and a feedback. So tank circuit means here inductor and capacitor are connected in parallel with each other. The work of a tank circuit is to produce AC, and we are having next transistor amplifier. The work of a transistor amplifier is for amplifying purpose. And next we are having a feedback. We know what is a feedback, right? So it gives some part of the output to the input. So it is called as a feedback, which gives some part of the output back to the input. So it is just a normal oscillator. So now we will see here in the magnetostriction oscillator. So here we are having a battery switch, as I said now. So whenever I switch on this, then the battery is connected to this, and the capacitor will start charging and discharging, and an EMF is produced. EMF is produced in inductor L1, and it is transferred to L2 also, which results in vibrations in this rod. As I said, in magnetostriction effect, the rod gets vibrating and the length may be increased or decreased. And the important point is the frequency of this tank circuit and the frequency of this will be in same, which means that they should be in resonance. So the frequency of this tank circuit and this will be in resonance with each other. So it generates the ultrasonic waves at both sides of the rod. So it is about the magnetostriction generator. It works on the principle of the magnetostriction effect. Now we will see the piezoelectric generator. So piezoelectric generator is depending upon the piezoelectrical effect. So now I'll explain piezoelectric effect only. So it is the only generator which produces a high frequency ultrasonics, and piezoelectric effect means it uses some piezoelectric materials like such as a quartz or Rochelle salt, or it may be a tourmaline. Now I will tell about the piezoelectric effect. The piezoelectric properties of a quartz crystal is explained by using following figure like this. Consider it as a quartz crystal. And it is having three axes, X, Y and Z, and assume as x-axis as an electrical axis and y-axis as a mechanical axis and z-axis as a optical axis. Whenever I applied a pressure along the x-axis, it produces a mechanical stress in the y direction which is perpendicular to the x-axis. Is it clear? Whenever I applied a pressure across the x-axis, it produces a mechanical stress over the y-axis, and vice versa. Whenever I applied a mechanical stress over the y-axis, it produces a electrical charges along the x-axis. So it is a simple concept of a piezoelectric effect. So it may be of two types of oscillations are obtained here. They are, first one is longitudinal elastic vibrations, which are called as a thickness vibrations. and second one is longitudinal elastic vibrations in the y direction, which are called as a length vibrations. So by using this quartz crystal, we can generate the ultrasonic sound waves ranging from 20 kHz to 50 MHz. By using a tourmaline, we can produce up to frequency of a 150 MHz.